Hey, what up, y'all? It's Metaphor back for more to kick the raw, representing everyone's you and I verse. Going to a video on the moon in Libra. And the moon being in Libra is a cardinal air sign. So initiating and creating ways of thinking and communicating. And that's where you feel comfortable due to it being your moon sign. And your moon being what makes you feel comfortable in your reactionary and response spaces. So the way that you react and respond is in initiating and creating new ways of thinking about it and communicating about it. So you'd rather think and communicate about your emotion instead of truly sit in the water like your sister sign, Aquarius, or your brother sign, Gemini. See what I mean? If you want to, either way you want to put it. But that air sign thing is the real thing with the air in a moon sign, because it tends to be a thought, and once you think too much about it, then you could think a thought is trivial, like I had mentioned in the Aquarius video. So, with the moon being in Libra, it is ruled by Venus. The moon is ruled by Venus when it's in Libra, due to Libra being the sign that initiates and creates that communication. So it's like it initiating creates love. It's, you know what I mean? It's the yang side of Venus. The yin side would be Taurus. So with this being said, you feel comfortable relating. You feel comfortable bringing ways of valuing another individual, ways of appreciating another individual. So with this being said as well, whenever you don't have this reciprocated, whenever you feel that things aren't balanced, you feel comfortable in the balanced space. So when things aren't balanced between another individual, you gotta have so-called straightening. Shout out to the Migos. And so straightening means, and you want to get things straight. You see what I mean? So with that meaning means that you want to create that balance. You want to say, hey, look, I'm exerting this kind of energy. You see what I'm saying? Why am I not getting this energy in return? You see what I mean? We need to get things straight. So, like it's to say, one line is going on this line of reasoning, and you veered off to the side. You see what I mean? You took a detour. Why you ain't go straight? You see what I mean? We gotta get straightened. You feel me? So, with the moon in Libra, you'd rather relate and work through those type of things. So whenever things aren't balanced and you can't get straightening, you know what I mean? You kind of tend to make things unbalanced, and you tend to throw stones, and you tend to, create these mind states around an individual, and like ways of thinking about an individual. Say, oh, this individual is using, this is the higher way of looking at it. This individual is using these certain spirits, and this is what they're influenced by to treat me this way, to make me feel this way. You see what I mean? To make me feel unbalanced. So with the moon being in Libra, whenever you have an individual that just wants to burn every bridge, you see what I mean? They want to burn every relationship that you try to create with them. You try to initiate and create a new way of, being in a partnership, even if it's platonic or it's serious, it's monogamous, things like that, depending on which scale it's on. Is it in your third house? Is it just an environment thing? Like I said, an individual that you work with that you can't really get along with? Or is it a 11th house thing? Is it just due to your association? Like, is it you guys are both doctors and you go to the doctor group and you just don't like each other? You see what I mean? Like, it's like Burger King and McDonald's. You're on the opposite sides of the road. Y'all both promoting, but boom, like, dag, like, you just can't get along. So you see what I'm saying? Because you're in the same business and it's just an association thing that, hey, you can't get balance, it happens. So, and then if you can't, in between those two is your 7th house, so your most important space about it. So the 7th house would be where Libra was born. So the space that, you actually bring a true relationship to another individual. So like, whenever you're in this space of having the moon here, like I say, and this is, I'm speaking on the natal chart just to, bring clarity to what I'm speaking on. If you can't bring that balance, then, you tend to just kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Sabotage. Yeah, like it's like the Libra would rather sabotage it and have the other individual cop out. You know what I mean? They would rather have them quit on their relationship, so that way they have a way of thinking about it that they didn't do anything wrong. So like this could be the lower way of a Libra dealing with, things not being relatable. You see what I mean? They just kind of cop out and, allow themselves to fall on harder times on purpose and like, due to, in someone's perception. They allow someone to kind of believe that they're this individual that they, thought that they weren't. It's like, you just kind of quit. So that's like the lower way to go about quitting the relationship with a Libra, or you could just actually initiate and create it and say like, look, I don't know if things are really working out. You see what I'm saying? This is the things we got to fix to actually bring balance to this relationship. If you can come to that space with an individual and actually feel comfortable relating to them with that, then boom, if you want to fix things, then that's cool. You see what I mean? But sometimes a bridge is burnt so bad that you can't repair it. So like that does happen. You see what I mean? That's where the analogy is water under the bridge kind of thing like that. There's a new bridge built now, and then there's old waters flowing underneath it. You see what I mean? So hey, the water's gonna wash out, and there's gonna be new waters coming in. So that's just the way it is. So like I say, you could either see it the higher way and say, okay, this individual is just dealing with certain spirits, and we can deal with these spirits. Then boom, we're gonna get these parasites off this individual, or these archons off this spirit, and then boom. The lower way of looking at it would be like, oh, okay, I'm just gonna kind of cop out and make them be the ones to actually, quit on this balance. You know what I mean? Make it so bad that they don't even want to try to balance me at all. So like, oh, this individual wants to create unbalance, so I can show them what real unbalance is, and that's that's the way of reacting and responding in the lower octave for the Moon in Libra, and that'd be the natal chart for your actual individual going with having these energies. If you're looking at this in the transiting chart, though, if the Moon was in Libra and it's going, going through the cycle, think about it like it'd be a new Moon in Libra if you had the Sun in Libra. It'd be a full Moon in Libra if you had the Sun in Aries. So, with that being said, you want to look at where Libra is in in relation to the actual Sun. So we look at Libra being initiating creating sign, ruled by Venus, and exalted in Saturn is exalted in Venus. So it's really all about building. You have this relationship to build. So whenever the Moon's in Libra, you want to do your best to relate. You see what I mean? But if it's just like you got to think about it like this. If you have like a North Node in Libra, and then the Moon's going in Libra, you want to kind of be a little bit wary. You know what I mean? You want to kind of work with that opposite energy Aries as well to feel comfortable, but you also want to relate to individuals that you have business with, and it's actually good to keep balance with, and that they're bringing the balance on their side. It might be a little bit tentative thing, but hey, you got to work with that. So like if it's in the transiting chart, say you had a North Node there, but say your South Node is in Libra, this would be a time that you feel more comfortable. So you kind of want to look at the other alignments in your chart whenever there's a transiting Moon in a certain sign, and we want to look at which sign that you have each planet in. So yeah, that'd be the way to look at it in the transiting chart. So say it was like, let's think about it. We just had a Capricorn Sun with the Moon in Libra. So the Moon felt comfortable relating, right? So we wanted to relate to individuals and bring balance. But see, look, whenever people think it's just business, that's not very balanced. That's not very Libra-like. So to say it's a square. So in between, you're going to have to learn how to relate about your business. You see what I mean? So that's what the Sun would be doing, and be, initiating, creating ways of practicalizing and logisticalizing, and bringing logistics, And the Moon would be wanting to feel comfortable bringing balance. So instead of just making everything business, this individual isn't bringing monetary gain. It's not bringing my up to my status. Why would I want to relate to them? So it's like learning a way to relate to individuals, even though you don't have business with them. You see what I mean? You want to actually create that balance where you can just have a healthy life. So that'd be that kind of alignment right there. You feel comfortable relating to balance. But the way that you're gonna be seen, the way that's gonna be acted out, isn't a Capricorn-like way. So it's going to be the boss saying like, okay, you're not doing the best from a business, even though we have a relationship going. Boom, I got to cut you off. you know what I mean, no more balance between you and I, that's it. You see what I mean? So let that be one way of looking at it. And then transiting chart. So much love, and holler back at me, and you can holler back at me in many different facets. You know what I'm saying? And on the Instagrams, on the YouTubes that we on right now. You see what I'm saying? You can also holler at me on my email. It's in the link. In the link in the description.